And we are back. Early AM. Yet another live session. Had an absolutely epic live yesterday. Um, and when I have fun on these lives, I like to do more. So here we are. Hoping to catch some people in different time zones. It is cold as hell out here. I'm wearing a hat because I'm trying to see how long I can go without turning on the heat. So, as you all know, gas prices are out of control in Belgium and Europe, and I guess everywhere in the world. And my apartment is really well isolated, so it doesn't need a lot of heating to begin with, but obviously now it's getting really cold outside, and I haven't been putting on the heating because I want like I said, I kind of want to see I'm competitive with myself in that sense that I like to see how long I can go without putting on the heating and it getting colder and colder outside. So I always used to think 21 degrees Celsius, that was like anything below that was not comfortable. And then I just kind of got used to it being like 20 and 19. And now it's 18. And it's crazy how, and this with everything in life, your baseline changes all the time. So for example, I used to think I cannot live in a place where it's below 21 degrees, inside. And then I just did it. And now I'm like 18 degrees is fine. Like I'm fine. Like obviously I'm wearing a sweater and a hat. I like to feel cozy and warm, but it's amazing what people can get used to. And the same in the gym. A lot of people have a limit, but it's a perceived limit. And if you never mentally get over that, you're never going to advance. At some point, you're going to have to push more weight than you think you're capable of pushing. And just do it. Literally, just do it. Anywho, what's up, Jack? Hope you're doing good, my man. Trying this new tea that I got. I bought this yesterday. It's spicy chai. Interesting. Black pepper, ginger, chai. What's any advice for a 17-year-old suffering from extreme anxiety? I fear even telling the delivery address. I mean, we've gone over this, man. You've been in a few of my lives, more than a few. And at a certain point, you living in constant fear, you living in a state of constant anxiety, there's really nothing that I can do to fix that or to give you a cut and dry solution on this life. You're going to need to look for professional help. Seek out someone who can help you with this. And I know you're 70 years old, so I think it's important that you make your parents aware of the state that you're in and that they actually do the job being parents and get you that help. I feel like what you're experiencing and what you're suffering from, that's not something that I can fix with a motivational speech or a shift in perspective. It's much deeper than that, unfortunately. That's also a pro tip. If you're not putting on your heating, then you're gonna appreciate warm beverages a lot more. A good, nice hot tea when it's cold outside is incredible, especially compared to a hot tea during summer. And it's not the same. It doesn't hit the same. Do you like cozy place? I'm all about coziness. That's who I am. And you can take that and apply it to any situation. Like I always like if even like if I'm in a place in a club or in a bar, like I like to be in the corner. I like to be somewhere where I can sit. I like to be where it's kind of like more narrow. I just like that. I'm a coziness animal. I like to make a nest anywhere I go. That Grizzlies hat is fire. Thanks, Doc. I love it. I love this hat. The OG. And I'm glad you noticed that Stars on Mars because everything that I wear, as random as it may seem, I'm hyper specific about what I like. For example, this logo, like the logo of this grizzly bear, and like the coloring and how they it for me that's like that logo is perfection. Like you know, and I do not feel that way about most sports logos or even NBA logos for that matter. So like I went above and beyond. It wasn't that easy getting this hat if you're living in Belgium. It had to be shipped from across the world, but I'm happy you like it, man. Shout out to the Grizzlies. Definitely one of my favorite teams. When do you go to bed? Early. I didn't go into bed at 10:30 every night basically, and I like I said I already went to the gym. I am in the gym at 9 a.m. Like actually doing, already working out. It's not. I know it doesn't sound that early, but like I wake up around 8. Like I get about 9 hours of sleep a night right now. I scale it up when I go into when I enter winter. I go into more of the hibernation mode. What's up, Jack? I'm good, buddy. Um, I am a firm believer of hibernating in winter and kind of like winter is a magical season. That's when plans are made. That's when progress is made, and that's when you're also supposed to rest. I believe that we are just, through our DNA genetically, we are programmed to rest more in winter, and I try to abide by that rule. I'm going out in nature hiking with my girl and her mom in about 30 minutes. It's pretty fucking cold. Yeah, man, it's cold out here too, and wet and rainy. So you better dress up. Once I've already visited a psychiatrist. He prescribed me medications, which is something I believe will help me, but will take some time. I really, I'm not going to comment on that, man. Like, I definitely have my own opinion as it pertains to antidepressants. I think in most cases they don't really fix or solve anything. They just kind of balance you out, they level you out. But I'm not gonna. I don't. I'm not gonna go against a psychiatrist. I don't know you. I don't know what the situation is. So, um, the only thing I'm gonna tell you is like use the medication to get better, but then don't stay on it for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? It's like it's like telling somebody to smoke 5 joints of weed a day. Like, yeah, they're gonna be better, but I'm emotionally abused as a child. How is your quality of sleep these days? I remember you said you had a lot of nightmares. Yeah, my sleep has been amazing ever since I started using this new supplement. Oh, that's upstairs. I've been using this supplement by Nootropics Depot. It's like a sleep formula that has a bunch of different ingredients. It has like lemon balm. It has magnolia bark. If you're familiar with that, it's a bunch of nootropics, but all put together in one sleep formula, and it's amazing. I take one of those right before bed, and next thing I know, and I can be in bed thinking like I'm never gonna fall asleep. I'm not tired. I'm having a lot of thoughts, and all of a sudden, boom! I'll wake up, and it's like the next morning. So ever since I've been using that supplement, I can link you to it if you want, man. Hold on. Sleep. All right. So this is the link. This is what I've been using them. And obviously, I don't. This is not an affiliate link. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not making money off of them. But that's what I use. Stars on Mars. That's what I've been using. That supplement, and it's all natural. It's not sleeping. It's not a sleeping pill. Which body supplements do you suggest to somebody who's never done any bodybuilding or will go to the gym the first time? I would suggest the use of vitamin D3, and omega fish oil. And that's about it. What is a sponsorship? Sponsorship means when a company pays an influencer or somebody else to like promote their products. So like me giving out that link and then I would make a percentage off of that sale, which is not the case here. Um, so like sponsorship, basically companies sponsor influencers so that they can function as salespeople for said product. But yeah, so what? You don't need any supplement to go to the gym besides the vitamin D and fish oil. Anything else you don't need. And then if you get more advanced, the only thing you need to add is creatine. That's it. Who do you guys as the MVP right now? You watch Skip and Shannon debate. I used to watch Skip when he was still on ESPN. It's screaming A Smith. Um, I checked out years ago. Um, it's too much of the show. It's not real. It's the theater. Skip is funny. I'll give him that. I like Skip, but it's like it's too much of the. It's like I said, it's not a real sports debate show nowadays, so I can't take it serious anymore. And they're just constantly doing their gimmick. I prefer watching the Hoop Collective podcast, but even more than that, just anything like the Bill Simmons podcast. You should check that out, man. If you like the Bill Simmons podcast, like they know NBA basketball and they have really good conversations about it. Bill Simmons, it is infinitely better than anything Skip and Shannon have produced in the last couple of years. So definitely check that out, man. My MVP, John Morant. I like Ja, Luca, those two. Shea Gilchrist Alexander from OKC. He's been killing it. Best skin products to have lower melatonin. I'm guessing in skin. I don't know, man. I'm not a skin cream doctor. I have no idea. And why do you need lower melanin? I feel we have reached the pinnacle of wanting to control everything as a human species. We've gone and I'm using nootropics, so I'm not like I shouldn't, I'm not criticizing that, but it's just a funny observation how we're just like so focused and dialed in on manipulating everything about ourselves and taking all the supplements and we need a pill for everything. And then we go out and smoke a bunch of cigarettes and drink a ton of hard liquor and we destroy our body and then we're sick for like 4 days. And then we go back to using our nootropics to fine tune our health. It's so funny, right? What's up, CM? Shout out to Santa Ana. Woo woo. You ever wear a mask in public? No, man. Hell no. What is beauty in your words? From my side, I think it's external beauty. What is beauty in your words? From my side, I think it's external beauty. What is beauty in my words? Beauty is, I mean, those are semantics, man. I don't. What is beauty? Beauty is more so something that I subscribe to things like nature than I do to people. Like I know people too well. I have too much experience with people to still be able to like you might call a woman or a man beautiful, but then when you get to know them, it's always gonna be tainted. And so I guess on a superficial level, beauty just um, it basically it's about the way you look, and then you get to know them, and then it's different, I guess. Worst food combination. Um, Basically, McDonald's, anything that's fried with a bunch of greasy stuff with, you know, so like we had it here too. It's called friture. We fry fries, and then we have like basically meat that consists of garbage meat all put together, and then we fry that, and then we put sauce on top of that. It's delicious. Oh, delicious is not the right term. It's satisfying, and it's like a drug, but it's terrible. Dark chocolate and Nutella. I don't know, man. You shouldn't. I mean, dark chocolate is, I guess, a little bit. It's healthier, but anything with sugar. That's one lesson that I learned with my cancers. Like cancer feeds off the sugar. Cancer cells feed off the sugar. So I remember there was a guy next to me in my room. We always had roommates in the hospital, and he also had cancer. And he would religiously drink like, 4 cans of like Red Bull and Monster, eat like literal sour gummies. And I was just looking at him like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you really don't deserve this medical attention because you clearly, like, you haven't gotten the message. It was so weird to see how he, like, cancer was just, it was like something. He didn't care to know more about it. He didn't care to understand what was happening to him. He was just like, I'm sick and I'm in the hospital and they're gonna fix me. Like, the doctors are gonna fix me. And it's like, well, you should probably not, like, they already told you a few times that you should stop drinking all that sugar because your cancer is gonna feed off of that. But he didn't, he just denied and refused any type of responsibility. Is wild to see. What will your sentences don't make sense, man. Yeah. Please, if you ask a question, guys, like, try to, you know, have the words in the right place. Like, nothing throws me off more than I'm reading a question out loud and it's just like scrambled and it doesn't make sense, and then my brain has to fill in what you were trying to say, and I have to start, moving it around. I guess you're asking me if you think we'll figure out a way to get rid of cancer first or to get plastic out from this world. I don't know, man. I don't understand. Like, are those the things that are on your mind? it's really not. It's really not like, you know. It doesn't really matter, and probably the reason why you have so much anxiety is because um, you're thinking about a bunch of useless stuff that is irrelevant. I mean, that's obvious. Sugar will cause inflammation in the body. Same with people who suffer with acne and eczema. It's basically an inflammation in the body that propel those conditions. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we got 8 people in here. Hit the thumb if you haven't yet. Doesn't cost you a penny. I know most of you motherfuckers don't want to pay for shit, so you might as well hit the thumb. Um, and ask me a good and intriguing and interesting question. The better the question, the better the content. Mm, interesting. Interesting flavor. What is really interesting about me? Um, what is really interesting about me? I'm trying to think like about that question as if I was not me. I guess what's interesting about me, if if I could look at myself from the third person perspective, a lot of people following me presume and assume. that I have turned out to be the way I am because of the cancer, so that my personality and my character and the way I look at life is a direct result of me having cancer twice and almost dying and yada yada yada. And I think that that's not really the case. I think I was already like this before my cancer. I think my cancer definitely um, pushed me in a more extreme direction, so that I buckled down more on my own mentality and philosophy. But I think the interesting part about me is that I think I probably would have turned out to be the same person as today, roughly more or less, had I not gotten cancer. And I think that might be a tough pill to swallow for some people because they love to assign, extreme alterations in your outlook on life to illnesses and near-death experiences, diseases. So it might be, but then ironically, because of my face, because of my scar, in a weird way, I obtain or I have more credibility towards the audience because people are like, oh, look, but he's going through something that I probably could not go through, which also they don't really know. They just assume. And it might be a different story if I was just healthy preaching the same message. Maybe people will think I'm an asshole. Guys, 3 thumbs up. We got 10 people in here. Like, I'm not asking you to do much. I'm not asking you to send money. I'm not asking you to donate. Literally, all you gotta do is hit the thumb. Like, just like move your thumb. Like, can you do that? Do you think you can do that? That would be great. And if you like these lives and if you appreciate me taking the time to make all this free content for which I get paid absolutely nothing, like less than nothing, this actually costs me money to make, then next time you come into a live, just make that a routine. Just like, hey, hit the thumb automatically. Off of the strength of me trying to make content for, you know, you guys and anyone in the world that might need some help or a pickup. Weirdest food combination you like? I like then like I can eat pasta with fries and mayo. So like I'll have a spaghetti bolognese or a lasagna with fries and mayo. Yeah, I can do that. What else? What else? What else? That's pretty weird, right? Mm, hmm. You ever had suicidal thoughts during your cancer battle, or were you anxious about this battle? I never really I never really thought I was gonna die. Definitely not suicidal ever. That was just never. That button didn't exist on my control board. Like suicide? What? You kidding me? Um, One point I remember I was like, "Oh shit, I might actually die," and then I cried a lot and I was depressed for a few days. Because I it finally dawned on me that I actually might die. That was like after my second cancer already. Um, but in general, yeah, no, yeah, musicianship, creative. It is a weird combo, but and not one that I eat often. Do you use and how? What nootropics do you use? How would you rank them? So, I use Tonkat Ali, the 10% thing. 10% Tonkat Ali. Let me type that so you guys know what I'm talking about. This is a supplement to naturally increase testosterone, mood, enhance mood, drive, focus, basically anything like your average guy would want. And it really like that. I stand by that. Like I'm never getting off the Tonkat Ali again. I love that. Sometimes it might make you a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I've experienced bouts of near roid rage. If I take Tonkat Ali on a sober stomach right in the morning, and then I'm like in traffic, and somebody cuts me off, I've noticed that I overreact like a motherfucker. I'm like getting angry, I'm shouting, and I'm like 10 minutes later, I'm like, why the fuck did I get so angry? And that's really from that. That's really from the Tonkat Ali. So, do you cycle Tonkat? I don't. I know you're supposed to cycle it, but I don't, man. I use one every day. I've also used Kistanj. Is that how you say it? Kistanj. And what I noticed with this is that it basically worked as a antidepressant for me. So it just leveled me out. Kistanj. It really just made me. I became numb, just numb, no highs, no lows. So I had to get off of it. Didn't like that feeling at all. I want to experience life. So I would not recommend that. Well, didn't work for me. And then I used the one that I told you about before. I have like a sleep support formula. It's called sleep support from Nootropics Depot. I gave the link earlier in this live, and it has lemon balm. It has magnolia bark. It has um, Bacopa moniri. Bacopa moniri. So yeah, Bacopa moniri. It has oleamide. And it has primavide, purified shiolite. It also has uridine, monophosphate. Yeah, and that works to help me sleep. That's all I use. So basically, I'm only using Tonkat Ali and then the sleeping formula to help me sleep. Are you happy with the platform you have? How much people you're helping? Sure, yeah, I'm happy with it. I would always obviously prefer more, and I feel like YouTube has not given my channel a push in ages, meaning that YouTube has not really promoted my videos or recommended them for a long time. So I've been stuck at 55,000 subs for a long time now, and it would nice to go to get up to 60, for example. But I'm happy. What's up? Feeling eerie? How's the weather where you're now? It is cold as hell, hence the hat. It is rainy and it's literally freezing outside. So I am in hibernation, bear cave mode. Do you like informing or entertaining more? I would say both. I like to entertain. I like to fool around and kid, but I feel like you can combine it easily. I try to do that. I would say 50-50. Are you a night owl or an early bird? Definitely early bird. I'm a morning person. I don't really operate in the night, like and that's pretty like you can take that very literal. Like I have basketball practice every week at 8:30 p.m. and it's too late. Like I've basically stopped going because I don't want to play fucking basketball at 8:30 p.m. Like I'm done. My body's ready to go to bed. Um my body's not used to making physical effort, after 7 p.m., So I don't like that at all. I hate that. Like, that's not even night, but yeah. I'm in the gym every morning at 9. So doing a gruesome workout. What is your favorite thing about the upcoming festive season? I'm not super religious. Being black, you're kind of Christian by default. Um, I mean, the only thing I really care about is I mean, I enjoy is Christmas. I like Christmas for obvious reasons. It's just an awesome time. New Year's, I couldn't care less. I've talked about that before. I feel like it's highly overrated. I don't like pressure. I don't like hype, and New Year's Eve is the epitome of all those things. And it's also just too many people drinking that never drink, so it gets messy, and I don't like it. Also, what worse way to start the new year than with a crazy hangover? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't even make sense to me that you want to start off the new year being super hungover. I fell asleep at 8 p.m., woke up at 2 a.m. No, that's not good either. 8 p.m. is too soon to go to bed. I'm practicing Buddhist now. That's awesome. Feeling eerie. Shout out to you. Guys, also, I'm still taking on new clients. So if anybody's interested in hiring me, you can send me an email at lorenz.dries@gmail.com. That is my email address. Have you ever been in a point of your life that you felt extremely isolated? Yeah, the last 2 years. No, I'm like no job, no joke. This whole last year has been my hardest year I'm not counting the cancers, obviously, like that, but that's different. Like that's just like me trying to live. So, and I always talk about the times when I had it the hardest with my cancer. I never experienced them as I was never unhappy because I was always happy to make it to another day. Like it was about survival. My family was all like rooting for me to live, so I was never unhappy in those times. They were hard. I suffered, but I was not unhappy. I was more unhappy in this last year than I was when I was sick, believe it or not. Because of, I had to recalibrate my entire strategy, my plan. Like, who am I? Like, I just lost this relationship. What am I going to do now? This was the plan. Now I'm without a plan. Now I'm in this flat where I'm paying this crazy ass rent, which the landlord jacked out twice. Shout out to him, motherfucker. And so I was alone a lot in this flat. I was isolated a lot. Thank God for my clients and my work, keeping me busy, keeping me sane. Um, I joke a lot that my clients had no idea how much they were helping me by being able to focus on their problems and not focusing on my own issues. Like it was therapeutic for me as well, ironically. But so yeah, I felt extremely isolated this last year, and I made a bunch of videos about that, and that's also why I try to kickstart, like a comeback with the August Reset series and stuff like that. But finally made a bunch of decisions. So as you all know, I said a bunch of times I'll be leaving this flat in at the end of this year. I'll be traveling a lot next year. Just a whole new. It's going to be a whole new lifestyle. So I think the whole New Year's thing is overrated. Not everyone has a massive group of friends to hang out with and be merry. It has to be normalized that it's fine to have a quiet night in, watch some films, listen to music, make plans, rather than dressing up and getting wasted in a nightclub. They don't know everyone's different. Um, but that's the thing. I do have a massive group of friends, not to sound like an asshole, but I do have a lot of friends. I can pick between 5 New Year's Eve parties. But that's my point. Even then, it's not that fun to me. Maybe I'm just a Grinch, man. My ex always used to call me the Grinch, but I'm just it's at 11 p.m. Everyone is already sloppy drunk, and it's like yeah, and everyone's like hugging and like at the peak of disease season when everyone is carrying bacterias of COVID and cold. They're all hugging you and slobbering all over you, and I'm like, I don't like it. I don't, but I don't like it because I've been going away from the alcohol binging for a long time now. Like it's just not something that I still enjoy. I just no longer enjoy getting drunk. Well, especially in the next day effects. Like, I've gone on a record. I prefer to smoke a joint. It's much more wholesome, and I love the way I feel, you know, so much more than when I drink. But the next day, I'm fine. I can work out. I feel good. Like the weed also stimulates my mind. I see things differently. Like I think it's awesome. Whereas alcohol is just like, me dominate. I'm the fucking man. I gotta, like I gotta hook up with a girl and fucking show my friends who's boss. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not the best drunk, so that's also on me. But yeah, fuck alcohol. That was funny. I was talking about that with a friend. We were talking about drugs, and we were talking about this one drug, and the point was like, that's oh man, that's a drug you would never want to do when you're around people that you don't vibe with, that you don't like. And then I was like, but what drug would you want to do around people that you don't vibe with, that you don't like that much? And we basically came to the conclusion there's only one drug, one single drug that that is fun and okay to do around people that you don't really mess with, people that you don't really like, which is alcohol. Alcohol is the only drug that you can drink around a bunch of people that you don't like, and then you're gonna tell them what's what. You're gonna like, finally, I'm gonna speak my mind. You smoke a joint around people that you don't like, it's not awkward. You feel the vibe, you feel the energy. You're like, oh, get me out of here. So that should tell you anything, and everything you need to know about alcohol. It's a war drug, a drug to go to war. It riles you up. It gives you courage. Makes you aggressive. Fuck it. I don't like it. Do you think it's hard for some to be unhappy with a terminal illness because everyone leaves on you to be happy or wants to survive? Do you think it's hard for someone to be unhappy? Ah, right. Like they're not allowing you to be negative. They're not allowing you to wallow in your self sorrow. I mean, that's a matter of communication. If I was terminal, I would tell people like, hey, please don't expect me to be hyper positive and focused on survival all the time. And I feel like that also comes with empathy and emotional intelligence. People that have a like a minimum of basic intelligence, emotional intelligence, they would or should know that a person who's terminally ill doesn't constantly need to be pepped up and riled up. You know, I think after a cycle of something that you realize isn't really benefiting you, you soon become unhappy doing it. Feeling eerie. I started a new job a month ago. That's awesome. I decided not to have a predictable start to the weekend. I with the team, had some drinks, food, and lots of laughter. It would have been easy to just go home. I created a new memory. That's great. And again, don't mistake me condemning alcohol for not being like I also drink a few drinks and I also enjoy it. It's just the cutoff is like 4 drinks usually to me. And like anything after that is too much and you end up like going over the board. But that's also the weird thing about alcohol. It tricks you every time. You know what happens when you drink alcohol? It's like that second drink gives you that buzz. You're like, oh, you're like, oh yeah, you get like excited, and you're like, yeah. But that only happens like for a brief moment. It's only like it's around that second drink, and then we get this weird idea. We get this FOMO. We're like, oh no, I don't want this feeling to go away. I want to stay excited and happy and cozy like this. So then we get that third and fourth drink because we're scared of losing our buzz of coming down. And ironically, by doing so, we actually ruin that feeling. Less is more. Like you feel way better with 2 drinks than you do at four. Because once you get that fourth drink, you're already kind of like, you're already like out of control. You're no longer like the best part is that like fun like that gray area between sober and getting like tipsy, and you're like but then think about it. Alcohol tricks you, man, and we all got this crazy FOMO of losing that tingly great feeling. The 3 best things about Belgian culture. The 3 worst things about Belgian culture. The best things about Belgian culture: the food, like our cuisine and our level of like high quality food and ingredients is second to none, in my opinion. Our punctuality and the fact that you can really count on a Belgian person. Like we have really good values as it pertains to being trustworthy. Sorry, Spain. Like you motherfuckers just aren't. Like you don't care that much like we do, for example. It's just the same in France. You want the job done well, get it done by a Belgian person. We have a lot of, um, you know, we are very responsible people, and I appreciate it, and I like that. So that's 2, and then 3, excellent healthcare system. We take care of our elders. We take care of our sick people, like me. The Belgian government saved my life multiple times. I guess that's not really culture, but the 3 worst things is that we tear each other down because we're so I would say insecurity one. People are very insecure in Belgian culture, and then due to that insecurity, a direct result is when they see somebody more ambitious and more like self-confident, we want to like punish them, pull them down. Um, Sometimes antisocial, I guess, but that goes hand in hand with insecurity. Um, bit negative sometimes, Belgian culture. Uh, but I feel like it all comes down to that. Like we're just like too insecure. We need some more self confidence and self love, and we compare too much. People in Belgium love to compare, keeping up with the Jetsons all the time. What time is it for you? It is now exactly noon. 3 minutes to noon, actually. So 12. Binge drinking is really unnecessary. Being a little bit inebriated is much more pleasant. Exactly. But, the mind tricks us. I like being sober when I experience things. I want to take everything in. To be honest, some people assume you can't have the most fun experience without being drunk or high. But yeah, once you're drunk or high, like, well, not high, that's different actually. Once you're drunk, you're already off, like you're already too far and you can't recover from there. You're already kind of like, you get numb. When you smoke weed, when you get high, your antennas sharpen, you know. That's why they call it crumbling up the satellite. You go into outer space and you're just like whoop, 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 and you're seeing and you're feeling a bunch of stuff. But alcohol's the opposite. You're like, ah, you have no idea that you don't realize that you're still shouting and people and that you're being overly aggressive. And the next day you're like, what did I say? Oh shit. You're like, you got no filter. So would it be weird to strike up a friendly conversation with someone in the street commenting on our code? Yeah, Belgian? Yeah. Yeah. If you tell a random Belgian person, nice coat, they're like, the fuck you want? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Definitely. All right, 30 minutes in, guys. By the way, if anybody hasn't hit the thumb up yet, now would be a great time to do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Doesn't cost a thing, doesn't cost you a penny. Hit that thumb if you like me doing these free lives and putting my all into it. Have you tried psychedelics? I've dabbled with truffles. I want to play ball, smoke weed, drink people, and discuss ideas with you. Hey man, fly you out to Sweden and pay me for my services. So, just get rich and then you can make it happen. Do you sing? I tried. I used to. I got like over 100 recorded songs. But I'm not a good singer, if that's what you're asking. I used a lot of auto tune and stuff like that. But I love to sing. I sing all the time. Sing in the shower. I go real high. Hey, Lorenz, some people often say consuming alcohol is worse than smoking some weed. What's your opinion on it? Of course it is. Of course. That's what I've been saying for years. It's not even close. It's way worse. Way worse. It's so silly that our society, tries to present like it's any different. You want me to pay you for that? Well, I'm not just gonna come to your country, and just like to smoke weed and get drunk with you, and like, why would I do that, man? No disrespect, but I'm trying to level up in life, not get fucked up. How do you feel about people who think you can't get addicted to weed? I mean, they're in denial. You definitely can. Um, yeah, they're just they are not right. They're not right. Smoking weed while the brain is developing isn't a good thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is not a good thing. And people really should not smoke weed before 25. Like that, teenagers smoke weed is a big no-no. It's really bad. Um, and proper education is needed because otherwise people are going to think that's okay to do and it's really not. Stars on Mars. I'm telling you, man. If you can set me up, if you can host me. You can give me a nice Airbnb for my own. Then we can definitely hang. But something's got to give, man. I'm not gonna do it on my own accord. If there is a drug that makes me feel, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. I'd love to know what that is. I've been on citalopram, lots of weight loss with that drug. I don't like the smell of weed at all. You tried edibles, maybe, but then be very careful because edibles can mess you up. But I mean, weed is pretty much don't worry about it, I'll be fine. But just take a little bit. Like I hear so many stories about people never smoking and then they go and do a coffee shop and buy a pre-roll, which is way too harsh, and then they get fucked up. That's like never drinking alcohol and chugging half a bottle of vodka and then complaining that alcohol is bad. Yeah, no shit. Just take a little bit. Edibles are better, they're healthier, and the terpenes actually work when they get combusted by lighting them. There's people who say they don't even get into your bloodstream. So Anyway, when did this turn into the weed live? I feel like everyone knows someone who supplies it. I don't know anyone who can source them. Yeah, yeah, that's it. You want it? Yeah, the highlight edibles. The weed I bought is fucking insane. It's too much. I got too messed up. Yeah, but all that like crazy weed is not good. It's not good. You shouldn't do that. All right, guys, 45 minutes in. Anybody that is looking to hire me as their life coach, mentor, whatever you want to call it, lorenz.priest@gmail.com. Hit me up, send me an email if you're trying to turn things around. I'm still taking on new clients. And that'll be it for today. 35 minutes. I feel like I have done my due diligence. Oh, and what is your pricing? Man, you got to send me an email, buddy. I'm not discussing any of that on here for obvious reasons. So hit me up if you're trying to, yeah, if you're trying to see if I can help you, what it is that you want my help with, we can discuss all of that and come to an agreement or not. But please just copy paste the email and use that so we can discuss that in private. For those who don't know, when I do my coaching, I work like this. So I also do video calls with my clients. That's the whole premise. That's the whole idea. All right. Feeling eerie. Thank you so much for your input, for your questions. Musician should creative. Thank you so much as well. Thank you, Stars on Mars. Shout out to Sweden. Tack Samiket. And I hope you all have an amazing weekend, man. That's all I want to say. Thank you, Arda. Almost forgot about you. Take care of yourself as well. Have a beautiful weekend. Peace out.